All right, a couple of other thoughts about defenses. Remember the jury charge video where I talked about this. Penal Code Section 203, the process for defense. All the defendant has to do is raise the idea of self-defense. Any testimony at all, they were coming at me. They tried to hit me first. He had a gun. No matter how big of a lie it is, he's raised it. The minute that testimony comes in, no matter how subtle, now the state has to disprove it beyond a reasonable doubt. So, if I said, this bear tried to kill me, and so I had to kill him, even though that's stupid, self-defense has been raised, and it must be disproved by the state. Okay. Provoking the difficulty, Section 931 in the self-defense section of the Penal Code talks about you cannot give self-defense if you start it. So, if this is the other person, and I flick him in the nose, and then he tries to hit me, and then I hit him back, I cannot claim self-defense when he tried to hit me because I started it when I flicked him in the nose. So if I start it, and then he tries to hit me, even though I am trying to stop him from hitting me, I started it. And so I can't claim self-defense. Now, if I flicked him in the nose and he tried to murder me, I can probably still claim self-defense because his escalation from that is too great. So, provoking the difficulty wouldn't apply in every situation. So, like again, if I slapped him and he tried to kill me, I could claim self-defense. But if I started it and he tried to hit me and I hit him, that's not self-defense. Consent as a defense to assault. This was designed for football games because obviously if you're playing a contact sport, you're absolutely intentionally trying to hurt the other person. That's how you play the game. But they consent to that because they both line up to play. A fight between two people a lot of times is not consent because every time he tries to hit me, I'm trying to block it and I'm trying to hit him. I ain't consenting to anything. I'm trying to whip his butt. So, and he's doing the same thing to me. So, mutual combat is not necessarily consent. Defense lawyers think it is, but it's not. If I said in some kinky, weird way, hey, I want you to cut me right here, and you cut me right here. Cut me like this, bear. That's consent because it was very specific to a very specific thing if I'm weird that way and I have him cut me. But it's really rare to have consent as a defense. It's misused by the defense bar to try to make it. Every time two people get in a fight, they're both consenting. Not true. Necessity. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I want to give you a good example. It's a balancing test between the harm that you do versus the harm that you're trying to avoid. For example, I'm drunk, and now one of my kids falls off the slide and punctures his lung. I'm taking him to the doctor. The danger is that because I'm drunk, I could get in a wreck and I could hurt somebody. The danger if I don't take the kid to the doctor is he dies right there on the floor. That's necessity. Because the danger of the kid dying is very, very high, and the danger of me driving, getting in a wreck, and hurting somebody is lower. May not be a ton lower, you might argue, but it's clearly lower. And so that would be a necessity defense. One of the other things on defense is this notion of immediacy that we talked about yesterday. If I had this bear and I slapped him in the face, and then I went over here and sat down, he can't walk over and hit me 5 minutes later because it's not immediately necessary. If at the time I hit him, he hits me right then, that's self-defense. But if I hit him and I sat down and then he walked over and hit me, that would be two different assaults, one by me and one by him. He would have retaliated against me, but he was no longer defending himself. Raising a defense, provoking the difficulty, consent, and necessity.